Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. Guys, this video is looking to top 5 things that I did when I purchased my own property, guys, before before I became a real estate agent here in Calgary, Alberta with Experioti, guys. Before all of that, I got my own property, and there's some things that I did that are very relevant to anyone who is planning to purchase a property. Guys, over the past year, I helped so many of you guys purchase properties in Calgary, and I guided so many people in buying their homes, first time homes, investment properties, you name it. But here are some certain things that I did, guys, for myself when I was buying a property, and it might be very relevant because it's easier to understand this as a perspective of a buyer and not some real estate agent. So first thing is, guys, what I did is I saved up money for a down payment and got a mortgage pre-approval. So that's the first thing, was most important part, is to get a mortgage pre-approval. Not even the down payment, because sometimes you don't want to be putting all the money down into the property, but you have to know your budget. So that's the first thing that I did with my wife. We combined, we submitted our application, we found a mortgage broker, and we got our pre-approval done. Now with that, we already knew what we can be expecting on what we can purchase. Now, in order for that, guys, to get better pre-approval, there is a second thing that we did besides saving the down payment and getting the mortgage pre-approval. We paid off our cars. Because how they calculate that mortgage, guys, is they look at your, right? They look at your monthly payments, they look at your income, they look at your debt, what your monthly payments are, what monthly payments you can afford. Guys, I'm not a mortgage broker. My wife is going to be soon, but not me. So I'm a real estate agent right now. But before that, guys, so they calculate all of that. So you need to have less debt, to have better pre-approval, and to have higher mortgage and higher chances of getting things. Now, of course, I didn't max out my mortgage budget, and that's when I was searching. I knew that I don't want to be on top of my budget. So when we were searching now we had to select the property type. Now with our mortgage pre-approval, we could get a brand new, really good house. At that time, we had a very good pre-approval for mortgage. You know, the houses at that time that we could afford is very expensive right now. Maybe we should have purchased one of those very expensive ones. Who knew that inflation is going to be like that? But we still made money on inflation of our property. If I was to sell the property that me and my wife got 2 years back, we would definitely be in a profit. It was buyer's market at that time, and it's seller's market now. So next part, what I did was with my wife is, well, guys, I say I did, but of course it was my wife who made majority of decisions. I trust her with the housing a little bit more than I trust myself. Is identify the property type, because we had a condo, we had an apartment, and we wanted to buy a house now. So we first purchased the apartment, now we purchased the house, so we had to identify what we want. Personally, I wanted to get a cheap, nice, at that time, duplex. But at the same time, my wife wasn't agreeing with that. She was saying we have to get a detached house, and I kind of agreed with her on the part that you own more land and the property is not attached to another property. So we identified which property type we wanted that works best for us. We realized that we don't like too many staircases, so we didn't go for the front car garage, attached house with a lot of staircases, like a two-story one. We decided to settle for a bungalow. We were looking at the front car garages, but they are not. Curb appeal sucks on those properties. You want the property to look nicer from the front when you're looking at it, and when you have a garage in front of you, well, it looks like a driveway with a couple of garbage bins standing in front. So we settled in for a back alley house. The garage is on the back, it's detached from the property, and it looks way nicer from the front. And in our view, a lot of people would disagree, but that's what we decided for ourselves. So next part is, first one was mortgage broker pre-approval, second one was to pay off car You know, the second thing was to pay off the car and all the debt that we had to have a better chance of pre-approval. And also, third one was the property type. Now, the fourth tip that, that thing that we did is when we were doing the research, guys, and that's the most important part, guys, is buying a house is all about research, research, research. And guys, from my experience with real estate agents, and now from another side of the boat, from another side, I can also tell you from my experience now as a real estate agent. It's crazy, guys. I was not a real estate agent not that long ago when I was buying a property myself. But now I am, so I can tell you from both sides how I've seen things. But I can tell you guys that it's difficult for a real estate agent to figure out what's inside my mind, what I wanted, because there's communication barrier. Then you're dealing with someone you don't know, and a lot of times it's difficult to exactly express what you want, and you're trying not to offend the agent, and you're trying to be nice, and at the same time you're confused, so you need some guidance on making a decision, guys. So for me it was finding a place that's close to a park like this one. See, guys, this park in front of me, it's really close to where I live. This is what I love. This is what I wanted. I wanted to have like a bridge like this, like a creek, a little bit of water going here, and yeah, like something like that. Having a park is very important because me and my wife, we like nature, and we don't want to be driving to Banff area or Canmore or going out of town very often. So that was another thing that we did, is choose a place that's closer to a park. And then the fifth thing that we had in mind is backup plan if we lose our jobs. Now, guys, I hope it wasn't a self-fulfilled prophecy, because of our plan that we did is the backup plan. So our backup plan was easy. First thing is, what are we going to do if we lose our jobs? Where are we going to generate the money to pay for the mortgage if something happens? So that's why when we were shopping, we started searching for a legal basement or illegal basement when we were buying a property. We got a legal basement, even though everyone was saying to us, well, you can still rent it out and things like that. We didn't want to rent it out when it's illegal. So we legalized the basement first before renting it out. But it's good to know, majority of people in Calgary, the majority of the basements are rented out that are illegal. Unfortunately, people are breaking the law, breaking the rules and this kind of things. But I wanted a legal basement, so we purchased a property that had such a basement. And I knew that if I put a little bit of work into it, we can get it done. And I actually made a video on YouTube, guys, on how to legalize your basement in Calgary. I'll leave it in the description of this video so you can check it out if you have such a basement. But that was our backup plan. Now, I don't know why we were planning to lose our jobs. It is kind of crazy. But in the end, after we purchased the property, I got laid off. I was unemployed for about 1 day until I got another job. Then my wife, she was pregnant at that time. She went for maternity leave. So, and then pandemic hit, and then she got laid off after the pandemic, which is ridiculous, guys. And then I ended up becoming self-employed. When you're buying a property, of course, every realtor wants you to buy more expensive ones because we get paid a percentage, generally a percentage out of the entire amount. So it's more money for the realtor. But you have to first think about yourself when you're buying something. That is, if you lose your income, or let's say your wife is pregnant and going for maternity leave or something, parental leave, something like that, something unstable within the company. So always have a backup plan. Try not to maximize your budget if it's possible. Unless, of course, you want a newer property and, you just don't want to go lower in the budget. But, we kind of made this plan in such a way so we didn't have to maximize it, and it worked out pretty well. Now we have Airbnb in the basement. We legalized the basement. The property value went up because now it's legal. It's not illegal basement like when we purchased it. It's actually registered with the city. I kind of love it now, and it's rented out. It's generating. It's paying most of its mortgage now because we have tenants, not tenants but guests living in the basement right now. How awesome is that, guys? Anyways, that's what I wanted to share with you in this video, guys. And I wish you all the best if you're searching for a property. And if you have any questions about real estate, well, you know where to find me, guys. See you next video. Looking forward to read your comments, and please do share your stories, how you purchased your home here in Calgary or anywhere in Canada. Bye for now.